Hey, if you're a Pride organizer who's already started to have their meetings about their upcoming events in June, and I know that some of y'all are out there because I've been invited to some of those meetings, this year is not the year to make your Pride events theme celebrating allies. There was an opinion piece that came out today in The Advocate talking about how retailers are reporting a slump in sales. And whenever retailers, by and large, report a slump in sales, their PR and marketing budgets diminish. They stop doing things like Pride, so we shouldn't expect as much corporate support in our Pride parades and our other Pride events this year. Except we know that support from big business for Pride events has been declining for the last several years. They've been caving to public pressure ever since right-wing conservatives were freaking out about drag queens reading stories at libraries. Listen, I know that Pride events are really expensive to put on, and I know sometimes people take that to mean that in order for queer events and queer spaces to survive, you have to let the police have a float at Pride. You have to let politicians be the mayor of the parade. Because if you want those checks to keep coming in, you have to let them feel special. This year is not the year. Pretty much every single right and liberty that we hold dear, the very few that we have been able to win, are all being threatened right now. Every single one of them. We already know that our trans siblings have been targeted. We already know that the right wing has gotten some deplorable wins. People being misgendered on their IDs and passports. People's access to healthcare is being revoked in states around the country. Even our politicians who consider themselves allies are strangely quiet or using our lives as negotiation tactics in meetings and public addresses. So all I have to say to that is this year is not the year to make your themes celebrating allies. I know those checks are big. I know those checks feel worth it, but this year is not the year. Is it centering queer businesses? Is it centering queer talent? And is it centering queer voices? But if you've decided to make an ally the headliner of your concert, to MC your event, or to be the mayor of the Pride parade, sorry, but that's just not it for me. Pride is and has always been a protest, and I think this year, more than any other year in my living memory, it needs to return to being about and for the community. And if allies complain and say they feel left out, they can write a check to offset the amount of money that is no longer going to be coming in from big businesses who decided that our community that used to be seen as a lucrative investment is no longer worth it, because when hate was loud, our allies were not louder. I don't buy the whole, oh, retail sales are down, so we can't afford to support Pride this year. Last year, it was because you had to roll back your DEI policies. You couldn't be seen supporting queer organizations. Suddenly, it's about sales. I think allies need to be allying a little bit better this year. Maybe get a little bit louder, get a little bit bolder, and get a little bit more uncomfortable, because I'm going to be wildly unreasonable about this year. Thank you. Goodbye.